those who still breathe.
What is coming? For the guardian of this prison comes.
The darkness in the second heaven was not the absence of light. It was a living thing, a creature that breathed, pulsed, and fed. Enoch had never imagined that blackness could move, yet here it crawled over the screaming forms of angels, once radiant beings who sang before the throne, now hanging like butchered giants, suspended over an abyss that had no bottom and no echo. Their silhouettes were shadows darker than the darkness that held them. Their wings, once white as lightning, had decayed into tattered, twitching strips that scraped the air like blades. And the torment never stopped. Chains made of starless void wrapped around their limbs and burrowed into their flesh like living worms. Their eyes were hollow pits, leaking not tears, but wisps of shadow that dripped like blood and fell into the abyss where unseen things drank them. The air trembled with a chorus of endless weeping, a sound so ancient, so raw, that even the darkness recoiled. When Enoch stepped inside, the tortured ones raised their eyeless faces to him, their mouths sewn shut by the very night that imprisoned them. And somehow, through the black threads sealing their lips, he heard them whisper, "Deliver us." The descent into the second heaven. Enoch did not walk into the second heaven. He was taken, gripped by the arms of two towering angels of the Lord, whose faces burned like molten metal. Their wings crackled with fire and storm, each beat echoing through realities that mortal ears were never meant to hear. "Fear not," one said, though his voice shook the bones in Enoch's chest. The other added, "But steel yourself. What you are about to see is not for the faint of spirit." The ascent through the first heaven was swift, a rising swirl of wind and color. And then the world changed. No light welcomed them. No horizon shaped their surroundings. The moment they crossed into the second heaven, all illumination died. It was as if creation itself refused to shine here. The darkness swallowed everything: sound, shape, time. Even the air felt thick, like breathing in ashes of extinguished stars. Enoch clutched his robe tighter, his heart racing. "What place is this?" he whispered. "The prison of those who rebelled in secret, those whose corruption began before the Watchers descended to earth. Darker than the fifth heaven rebels, deeper in guilt, heavier in blasphemy." The darkness stirred beneath them. Something massive moved, slowly, painfully. A groan rose from the deep, the sound of ancient agony. The angels guiding Enoch spread their wings, releasing bursts of heavenly fire that briefly lit the void. And in that fleeting flash, Enoch saw them, millions, hanging, silent, bound in chains made from the absence of light. They were not like the Watchers he would later meet. These were older, their forms monstrous from millennia of decay. Their bodies were stretched unnaturally long, limbs dangling like the roots of dead trees. Their skin sagged in folds of tar-black flesh. Their wings broke and healed and broke again, endlessly regenerating only to be torn apart by unseen forces gnawing in the shadows around them. Enoch stumbled back, swallowing a scream. "These are angels?" he gasped. They were, until they turned their will toward the prince of the fifth heaven, until they hid their rebellion behind piety and dark counsel. These were the secret plotters, the ones who whispered corruption before Lucifer even dared voice his pride. Enoch looked again at the prisoners. Their faces were hollow voids, their mouths fused shut, their chests rising and falling with labored breaths.